where we're catalysts in each other's lives and catalysts in our own, and we work towards becoming the artists we've always wanted to be. This afternoon I made a video because I've been offered one mural to start, a very, very big, very visible wall in downtown Sarasota. I don't know the measurements yet, but looking at it, it's a 2-story building and it's pretty wide. So I'm guessing it's maybe 20 feet wide and maybe 30 feet. I don't know. It's something. It's something huge, and it is something I've never done before. I've done, okay, hair. I need a haircut. I have done murals indoors. Hi, Karen. Karen, you hang in there. I get it because I'm telling. I've got news. If you didn't watch the video earlier, I've got really big news. I'm really glad you're here. So I was offered this wall in downtown Sarasota to do a mural, but then we also talked about me doing another mural and then another mural, and there's a whole series of murals that are going to be done about historical figures in Sarasota, and they're historical figures from the Black and African American community of Sarasota, and their neighborhoods and communities that Sarasota is just wiping out. They've already wiped out one, Overtown. Overtown was in what is now downtown Sarasota. And it was a really important and vibrant community that developers came in and started buying up and kicking people out, and the town started taking land, and we know how it goes. And so the Black community, the African American community in Overtown was pushed up north several miles, or a couple, maybe 2 miles, a mile and a half, and kind of actually segregated into an area that was then turned into Newtown. And Newtown has been Newtown and neighborhoods and community now for several decades. I'm trying to think how long it's been. 50, 60 decades. I can't, sorry, it's not popping out because my head's, full of stuff, squirrels and things. But Overtown was dismantled. All the African American community was moved to Newtown, and now that is being wiped out by, once again, rich developers and Ringling College. So I never wanted to be a part of any of that. I'm not the person that's interested in painting the rich person's portrait. I'm not interested in celebrities. I don't care. As I've said before, Mick Jagger lives here, as well as, Stephen King, and Oprah owned a house right around the corner from me, or, on one of the keys right around here. And there's umpteen celebrities that live around here. I don't care. People keep saying, oh, you should paint Mick Jagger. Then you could get his attention. And I don't care. I know this is deeply wrong to most people. I'm not a fan of the Rolling Stones. I really don't give 2 shits. Charlie Watts was the only one I liked, and now he's gone. Although Keith Richards has always been very interesting. I just out and out don't like their music, and I find Mick Jagger to be obnoxious. So I'm not painting his portrait, but just like any community I live in, I want to paint the people that aren't seen. When I'm doing my figure paintings, figure and portrait paintings from little photographs, those are people that are probably long gone and no one cares about, and nobody remembers. And what they symbolize are, not my dirty glasses, but they symbolize all of us. And it's a constant building up a portfolio that says, we are here. We are here. Nobody needs another portrait of Audrey Hepburn done. From Breakfast at Tiffany's, Audrey Hepburn. Nobody needs it. We don't need another Marilyn Monroe. Andy Warhol already did it, and now New York, Manhattan is filled with gallery after gallery after gallery with images of Marilyn Monroe. Nobody needs any more Marilyn Monroes. heroes. We don't need more Mick Jaggers. We don't need more portraits of Keith Richards, you know, being this 1970s badass. Nobody, who cares? I don't. I care about us. I care about the people that are not seen. That's what I care about, representing the rest of us. So I'm very excited to be part of hopefully a project that really builds and becomes something bigger than just me being involved. But I'm really excited because the gentleman who's asked me to do it is part of another couple of larger organizations here in town. But I think it's one or two that are specific to finding, documenting, and posting the history of Overtown and Newtown and the Black and African American communities that are disappearing because they're in the way of wealthy white developers and Ringling College. Ringling College is just, it just disgusts me what's going on with them. So, but anyway, regardless, I'm not an alum, so I don't care. But, and they have millions of dollars, so I don't care. I care about them. But so I've been offered this mural, or this wall, and it is huge. It is so huge. And I've been, you know, I was asked a year ago if I would be interested in doing a mural downtown, and I thought, okay, they're going to give me a little thing, and then it kind of disappeared. Like the whole conversation ended, and I felt like I'd been ghosted, and I got a little sad over it last summer when a couple of other things just evaporated. I got pretty sad. I got very, very depressed. But then the man in charge, who we'll talk about at some point in time, contacted me last week, said, can you call me on Tuesday? I called him on Tuesday, yesterday, and he said, Beck, can you meet me downtown? I want to show you a wall. So I met him downtown this morning, and he showed me this wall, and we talked about who he wants me to paint, and it's a woman named Emma E. Booker. And she was she opened the first African-American Black school here in Sarasota. Up until she was teaching African American children. She was teaching African American students and black children in the Overtown, Newtown areas, or Overtown. But what they had to do was rent out rooms, you know, in different halls, and for the kids to gather in because they didn't have a school. She held fundraisers. She raised enough money to buy a building to build a school. She was the school's principal, and she taught there for decades. And while she was teaching, over a 20-year period, she on her weekends, on her days off on the weekend, she was earning her bachelor's degree. It took her 20 years, but she earned her bachelor's degree. She had such an impact on the African American community here in Sarasota. It is astounding. It is absolutely astonishing that there aren't monuments to her. There kind of are, because actually there's 3 schools that are now named after her. Emma E. Booker. There's Booker High School, there's Emma Booker, I don't know, there's a middle school, a grade school, and a high school. And they're all named after her, in her honor, but you pass by them and you don't really think twice. So now I have the opportunity, I have been given the opportunity to paint her portrait, paint her figure on a 2-story building. It's so big, it looks like maybe it's about the width of this room, so it might be about 20 feet, I don't know, I gotta measure my room. But anyway, I'm so thrilled because the man who is organizing this, who talked to me about it last year and then again yesterday and today, I forgot. It was something. We're really on the same page on stuff about recognizing people who are lost to history, lost to time, people who have been treated with disregard or misunderstood or marginalized. my portfolios are all about we were here, or we are here, or I am. I have a whole series of paintings where there's script written in them. I am. Ich bin Eier. I am here. And that's how he wants his community, the stories he had, but the community represented is with a strong, we were here. We were here. And it's so cool. I've been looking at another photograph of a couple, a black couple from 18 something or other. They were the first, sorry, I don't remember everything off the top of my head, but they were the first African American or black people to settle here in Sarasota, and there's actually a photograph of them, and it's really good, and I hope I get to paint that one too. Do those two as a mural as well, because we should know this. Like, we should know this, but instead we know, the $5 million condo is what people talk about, or the view. Who's there? Susan, thank you so much. Yes. Oh my God, Susan. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Sorry, I'm so used to things falling apart, but this one feels solid. This feels absolutely solid. The gentleman who asked me also, I talked to my neighbor who's so thrilled, my neighbor Audie, on the other side of this wall. She's so thrilled, and she said, get a contract. And I went, you're right. Because I've had contracts before and they've been violated, but also last year, one of the major problems I had a museum, and I may as well just tell you because nobody's bothering with that anymore. I was offered a solo museum exhibit, and I couldn't tell you about it because I was asked not to, but at this point, who cares? I was offered a solo museum exhibit. It was going to be a very big deal, a major thing. And we talked for months, and they kept making promises, and then they didn't follow through. And it was offered to me. I didn't go after it. It was offered to me. And you watched me make work for this exhibit. I did a lot of work for the exhibit and used a lot of supplies. And some of you helped me to purchase the supplies, and then unfortunately it didn't go anywhere, and I kept asking for a contract and didn't get it. So the gentleman that I'm working with now, he has promised me a contract, and he's right here in town. They're lost. You're right, Karen. Let's give him one of these. Let's give him two. If I told you who offered it to me, you would be shocked because you would at least know of him. So, anyway, there we go. That's it. Can't be trusted. We learned that lesson. Ouch. Yeah. Yeah. This wasn't some small town dude who said, I've got a museum in my backyard running out of my shed. This was so anyway. And then there was a couple of other shows that were supposed to come out of it, and that never happened. So, a couple of other exhibits. So that never happened. So anyway, I have the names of everyone who's involved, everyone who will destiny remember. Yes, indeed. Okay, I'm gonna cry. But so anyway, the gentleman who I've been speaking to. We'll call him Mr. G. How's that? We'll call him Mr. G. Mr. G, I said, can we do contracts, and we can do them in increments so that we're doing contracts for different stages, but let's lay out a plan together and let's sign contracts. And he's like, absolutely. And there's two other people involved, so everybody will have, there's more than one person. There are 3 people now involved in building the series of images downtown. Well, 4, including me, because I'll be doing at least one of them, if not 2 or 3, or possibly 5. We talked about a number of walls. But what I'm getting to, and here's the part where you come in. I have to create images. a couple of images um, uh, for them to okay. And what I want to do is create. I want to paint. I want to. I want to do what I do. Paint Booker. I keep saying Walker. Emma E. Booker on 2 canvases. This is how it's going to go. I'm going to paint her image on in design on 2 canvases, and then possibly add some graphics to it. But anyway, paint the images, paint the designs my way, which I can't believe I'm going to be able to paint my way and do what I want. This is awesome, and it's going to be on a very big wall, huge, in the middle of everything. Oh my God. So, but then we can take photographs of the image and then we'll transfer it to the wall. I'll be painting it on blah, 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 blah. Anyway, this is where you come in. I need supplies. As you know, I walked out of my job at the beginning of the month. I don't really want to get into it, but it was so bad. I haven't walked out of a job since I was 21 years old. But a situation was so sour and so wrong all the way across the board. I can't get into specifics. That I just went. I said, I give everybody 3 chances, and I was told this one thing wouldn't happen, and then it happened, and I was told it wouldn't happen again. That was number 2, and it happened, and I was told it wouldn't happen again. Then it did. So I went, I'm done, and walked out. I said, I'm done, and walked out. And I never leave a job. Sadly, I left hundreds of, I left some sentimental things behind. I don't even care about the supplies I left behind, but I left a couple of boxes that I used to paint with behind. We'd been using them as workstations, and I left my father's knife sharpener behind, and it's one of the few things I have that was his. So I walked out, and the thing is, getting back on track, I haven't had much money coming in. So I cannot afford supplies to take the first step, which is getting the painting done. I need aerosols and I need canvases. So I can get the work done. And this is where you guys come in. If you still believe in me, if you still believe that there's even a sliver of a chance, and you'd like to help out, the links for my Cash App and PayPal accounts are down below every video, and I'll make sure they're down below this one when we're done. If you can help out at all. Eric, I got a notification that our friend Eric, he already PayPal'd some money in. I'm going to keep it in the PayPal account until I can locate the canvases, until we've built up enough, accrued enough, that I can purchase. You're just working on having a more work for a larger show. It's going to happen. Yes, Susan, go. Do it. Do it. Do it. So I'm going to keep the money in Eric, I'm going to keep the money in a PayPal account until I can find the canvases. Michael is currently all out of the canvases that I need, and they don't carry the aerosols. So this may mean a trip to Dick Blick in Tampa, which means then renting a car and having to pay about double what Michael charges for their inexpensive canvases. So I am asking if you still believe in this at all. If you have any faith in me after 9 years, 10 years of this, if you have any faith in me, if you could go to the links below and just help me out in any way you can. If you can't gift me the money, if it's only a loan, that's perfectly fine. I'll pay you back as soon as I get a deposit on the job, which would happen after I've submitted images, painted images. That's how, it's kind of a dog chasing its own tail kind of a deal. But it's a sure thing, apparently, a sure thing, because they've got murals going up all over Sarasota. And my guy, the man that asked me, wants real art downtown. So Yay! So if you feel that you can help out, even if it's just buying one can of paint, one can of aerosols for me to work with while I develop the images, it would be greatly appreciated. What I'm thinking too is once the images are done, photographing them and then finding a way to either send out prints or whatever as thank you gifts. But I think that would be a really responsible and respectful thing to do. A way to say thank you. So now we're going to move on to, from please send me money so I can get this big job and all of your faith will be restored in me. We're going to move on. I heard from a gentleman named Bobby yesterday. He poor guy, my phone, we friended each other on Facebook and my phone decided to call him today. Bobby, if you see this, I'm so sorry once again. My phone just calls people sometimes. Bobby was asking me about my palette. And I think it was, I should pull up my phone. It was about preparing my palette and how I lay things out. And I started cleaning this up and I thought this is a really good opportunity just to kind of, oh, Bill, there's your Neo McGilp. I'm going to put it right down here, buddy. It's got its own little shelf. Thank you for the Neo McGill, and thank you for that tube. Once again, a transparent earth red. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I thought this was a good time to just kind of chit chat and hang out and do a studio mate in another state. And I promise you I'll shut up sometime, at some point in time. But really, Bobby, this is what I like to do, is once in a while kind of clean this off. This is, as you can see, this is all covered with paint. But this is actually wrapped plastic that's covered with paint that I'm not ready to change yet. So what I do is, sometimes, because having a clean surface helps me think. Susan, I can't believe you. This is so incredible. You're doing large pieces for show. That's fantastic. Doesn't it feel so good? You must be super proud of yourself. You should be super proud of yourself. So sometimes I lay down. Oh, I've already got paint on this. Sometimes I lay down drop cloth or towels, but I'll go through the whole thing of changing the plastic that's actually on a white shelf that's sitting on top of my painting table because I'm crazy. But lately I've just been putting down some white drawing paper, construction paper, like kids drawing paper. And then usually what I've been doing lately is putting down white paper towels, just so it looks and feels really, really clean. But I'm out of paper towels and I was too lazy to walk to the grocery store. So I took an old drop cloth. I always recycle my drop cloths. So I took my old drop cloth and I've been cutting it up. I like to have one piece to brush use for my brushes. This is pretty interesting, isn't it? I'm only kidding. I just like to get this place all cleaned up sometimes, feeling a little bit fresher. Although this is covered with paint. It's kind of ludicrous to cover up the white paper with paint drop cloth. I don't know, let me see something else. Let's try this. I did have this laying down on, actually the camera is on the iPad that's screwed into a tripod and taped in place is on top of a carpet that used to be white. It is no longer. And I had it covered with this drop cloth that is covered with paint. Okay. Just feeling jubilant, so I want to get this all reset up again. I don't know. Doesn't make much sense. Let's see. There we go. And again, I know I showed you that, guys, this is my palette. I think I showed you 9 years ago, maybe again 10 years ago. This is my palette. It's a solid milk glass palette. When we first started doing these videos, I had 3 of them. I gave one to somebody. I don't even remember who or why, but I must have really liked them. I think it was my friend Andy. Our friend Andy. But anyway, so one is still here. I gave one to Andy, and then the third one is sitting over here, broken. I dropped it, and I broke it, and I'm really not happy with myself. Every time I look at it, I get sad. Because I can't even find them online anymore. It's super thick. It's about it's about a knuckle thick. And it is the same type palette that Norman Rockwell used to use. Our friend Norman. Normie. I must have given it to Andy. Andy, our friend who said who told me to be more. And Andy is still painting, and he's up in New Bedford. And last summer, when I thought I had, the world was going to be mine, I was trying to get him down here to help me with a couple of projects, and then everything fell apart, and I was so sad because he's been through so much with me, and I'm mainly a life lesson in, you know, things are going to go horribly wrong, and I hate it. I hate it. I want to give him and everybody else some hope. So I just like to get this all cleaned up, Bobby. Now I'm out of mineral spirits again. Yay! Okay. So being that this is milk glass, Bobby, let me move some of this junk. Pardon. One thing I like to do periodically, or one thing I really love about having this milk glass palette, and I know you can do it with clear glass, but mine's special. It's white. Is you can just clean it off. You can just scrape it off. I don't know, there's something really charming about having this, really charming and purposeful is how this feels. But I get it all messy, and then I can just whoop, whoop-de-whoop. As opposed to like paper palettes, which dry out your paint, and I don't like them. This makes me, ooh, that's gross. This makes me feel like a painter, a serious painter. Someone who has dedicated at least part of their life to painting. This has been an invaluable tool. And so I have carried it from state to state. And I rely on them to elevate me. I rely on my glass palettes to elevate my mood, my ideas, and to keep me painting honestly. There's something about them, and knowing that Norman, our friend Norman, had glass palettes, that it makes me want to be better, a better painter. This is gross. However, sometimes I leave the paint too long and it dries on, so I'll have to use acetone. I think it's acetone to get it off because it gets really, really hard. That takes like a week or two sometimes for the paint to get that hard, where you keep, I'm going to go to drastic measures to get it clean. But it keeps the paint cool, it keeps it moist, it doesn't pull the oils out, so I've got, oil paint. I've got the oil and the oil paint to play with. And I think, Bobby, what you actually were asking me about, I'm kind of guessing what you were asking me. Oh, now I've got paint everywhere. I've got paint all over the new stuff I put down. I think what you were actually asking me, Bobby, was how I set up my palettes, how I set up the colors on my palettes. There is absolutely no rhyme or reason. I don't do cool to hot because I don't know what that means. I really don't know what cool colors are. I don't know what hot colors are. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care. I know there are supposed to be rules in paintings and rules about colors, but I just don't care. So up in this corner, I've got a black that I keep separated from the Payne's gray, so I don't get them mixed up, because they look so dark to me. I can't see them, can't see them very well. So I assume that one is the other. So I put the black apart from the Payne's gray, and from there, it doesn't matter to me. I've got teal over here and blue over here, and then I've got my radiant blue and Portland gray up here and white over here. But the next time I set up my palette, it could be like really tidy, and my Indian yellow to the permanent orange to whatever, the transparent earth red, or or red. It doesn't matter. It just however the mood strikes me. So I think that's actually what you were asking me, because you said you haven't painted in 10 years, I think. Don't worry about it. There are no rules. There are rules, but nobody cares. Well, there are rules, but they don't matter. They don't matter at all. Just do what makes you happy. Do what feels right at that moment. For a long time, I lived with the you shoulds and you're wrong and blah, 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 and trying to figure out how to be the right person, or the person that people liked, or the person that fit in my family. I tried so hard, and I would get so frustrated and angry that I'd lash out. And in the end, no matter how hard I tried with my family, with social situations, with work situations, I was never the one. I was never the right one. Even if I tried to fit in, tried really hard to fit in, or tried really hard to follow the rules and make myself invisible, I still wasn't good enough. I still wasn't right enough. Let's put it that way. So, Bobby, set your palette up the way you want to set it up. And use the colors that you want to use. That's it. I have a friend who, or I had a friend, we really aren't friends because he's very controlling and ridiculous. And I couldn't take it anymore, much like the last job. He had to have everything just so. He was a very good painter, not very imaginative, and his mother actually had to would pick out his subjects for him. And then he'd paint what mommy told him to. And he was a grown man. Anyway, he is meticulous. He built his own he built his own easel, which is think are stupid anyway. They're useless, but you don't need them. But he built his own easel by hand. Good for you. Sucked up a tremendous amount of time, so he didn't have to focus on painting. Then he had to have everything just so. And then the paints had to be just so. And then the painting, he had to trace it. He didn't just grid out his images, he projected them and traced them. And he looked at me one day when he wasn't being really awful and said, I wish I could enjoy painting as much as you do. I wish I could just be free. So Bobby, do whatever the F you want. You're welcome. Let your freak flag fly. You'll be a lot happier. If you're not spending 6 hours cleaning up your workspace, or 3 weeks to a month building an easel. Let your freak flag fly. Be you. And don't care. And that's it. Here's my other, this is my other, I don't know if you can see it. Here, I should probably do this. This is how I keep my paints organized. So organized. And this is my other milk glass palette. The one that fell off a stool, not once, but twice. You're welcome. It will give you one serious hint, Bobby. I know that you've watched the Norman Rockwell. Was it you? No, it was somebody else who watched the Norman Rockwell video. Oh my god, his name. It's right here. Oh, what the hell is that? Anyway, I talked about this stuff before. Neil McGilp. Eric has sent me 4 bottles. My friend Eric sent me 4 bottles. Bill just sent me one. My friend Michelle sent me one a long time ago, and I went through that one. Not a long time ago, but a while ago. I went through it, This is the best stuff in the world. This is the best medium you'll ever get. I don't care about Galkit. I don't like it. I love this stuff. And everybody goes, well, what about Galkit? And I go, oh, I don't care. I don't like it. I love Neo McGilp. That's just me. I know other people that paint with Gamblin Artist Colors Galkit and they love it. I don't. I just don't. I love Neo McGilp. If I could, I would marry it. But then I felt that way about Bugsy too, and Republicans wouldn't let me marry Bugsy, so I guess I can't marry Neo McGilp either. But here's my helpful hint: if you get Neo McGilp, don't set it up like this on your painting station because it will start to dry. Even though it looks like you would assume there'd be no air in there, or you just like go meh. You set it like this, it's going to start to dry, and you're going to end up with like a hard resin up top. And you're going to lose a good, you can lose a good inch worth of material. So take it and when you put it on your painting table or store it, put it upside down like this. Make sure the top is on tight, and then then you really don't lose anything. For some reason, the bottom doesn't harden up. It could be that, I don't know, we're doing something. There's no air in there. I don't know. It's science. I don't know science or a lot of common sense. But this way you get more out of the bottle. It's not perfectly clean. It's not the way I would really like it to be. But you know what? It's good enough for right now. All right, I'm going to go wash my hands. It doesn't feel perfect. I like it really white, but a little bit better. And I have a mural to do. It always feels good when somebody really gets your work. Really get it. Feels pretty friggin' good. Right, Jim? This used to be an undershirt. Now it's just gross. Good, Jimmy? Bugger, 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 bugger. Come here. Can you tell everybody? I like to bring back dead baby birds, full-grown blue jays, huge snakes. I bring my other, his real mom, dead frogs, more baby birds. What else do you bring us? You bring us mice and bunnies. Say it. I'm a killer. Meow. I'm a little killer. Meow, meow, meow. Silly thing. All right. I think I've talked myself out. And this is looking somewhat stupid. I think I'm going to get to work on this, and I think, oops, my hair. Okay. I think I'm going to get to work on this, but I mainly just wanted to talk for a little while. You guys are therapy. I should probably pay you. But I am asking for you to send me money to help me. And again, it's for the mural project. If you go on my Facebook page, I've actually got photographs of the building, and it happens, the wall that I've been given to do the mural on is right around the corner from an artist, another artist mural work. And it's this kid, I Am Detour, and you can find him on Instagram. I think I'll put a link to him down below this video. He's in the last one too. A link to him is in down below the last one. But to think that I'll be right there near I Am Detour, who I really admire and respect and I follow on social media. I love this kid. I love him. He's helpful. He's kind. He doesn't lose his words like I do. He's young, he's not old and crazy. But anyway, it's embarrassing. Anyway, if you would like to help get the mural project started, I think I need to raise, I don't know, I've got to raise between $600 and $700, I think, so that I can drive to Tampa and get. Ooh, I think my friend Eric is here. And get canvases and aerosols. It means renting a car. Actually, $800 would be better. I think I need to raise $800 because Michael's doesn't have what we need. Nobody in town does. And I'm not going to the local art supply store because they screw you and they're horrible. And I don't like them. So, I have to drive to Tampa, go to Dick Blick. If I don't drive to Dick Blick, then I have to have everything shipped, which would cost even more. So if you can help me to get the canvases and the aerosols, the paints, to get the first leg of this mural project started, which is me creating an image, it would be greatly appreciated. The links to Cash App and PayPal are down below, and as with Eric, who was very generous, as with Eric's money gift, it will stay in the PayPal or Cash App account until I get to go shopping. As this progresses, I will recognize everyone who's helped out. You'll be listed as supporters in the project when I post online, if you want. And I'm trying to think what really special thank you gift I can come up with in the end. Once everything's been said and done and is in place, or I really get to work on the mural, I'm trying to think what can we do? What really special, cool thing can we do? I've been thinking. Last year or 2 years ago, I had gaiters made. People were buying images of my work on gaiters, and I'm thinking about that because that's something you can use year round. And it's a painting of mine on a gaiter, and you can wear it like a little scarf. I don't know, I've got a couple different ideas. If you have suggestions, let me know. If there's something you're interested in, let me know. But yeah, so I'm looking for help. The links will be down below. And you know what, finally hung in there with me. And yay. I'm gonna let you work in peace now. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna stop talking and that. I'm gonna get to work on this little mess. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm Beck Lane. This is Catalyst and Company, and thank you for being my therapy tonight. You're welcome. How much do you charge? $150 an hour, and you only get 50 minutes, not a full hour. Okay. All right, ready? Here we go, Carrie. Mural, 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 boink.